Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. And let me bring this up here. Okay, what I did was I typed in, I went to the Google and I put in "Is America mentioned in the Bible?" And it pulled up a lot of different sites. And this is the third site, Amazing Facts. It says here the USA in Bible prophecy. And this has nothing to do with the video I did yesterday covering what was the actual, let me go to that. Okay, so this I was just watching. This is a short video that the Apostle Ryan Labe put up, and I listened to it. It was very short, 12 minutes long. But I was thinking about doing a video kind of dealing with the same subject. So that's why I put that question in there. But the video that I did, let me bring the name up again. A must-watch video. We woke now reference my video. Babylon is the United States. No ifs, ands, or buts. Which this is the actual video. Babylon is the U.S. No ifs, ands, or buts. So this video I'm doing now has not really have nothing to do with these videos. It's just that we're in the end of this man's system, so we're focusing on it now. So this page, Amazing Facts, I forget the guy's name, but he used to be on TV. It appeared to be an Edomite, and he was, if it's got to be the same program. And he was, I remember years ago, he used to go in, he used to, hit a lot of, going to prophecies and going to facts. But I forget his name. I remember The World Tomorrow with Armstrong. See, I was always into watching things that dealt with the scriptures and prophecy. When the movie, the late great Planet Earth came out, which you can watch that movie on YouTube. Let me pull it up. See if I can pull it up. By Hal Lindsey. I believe his name was Hal Lindsey. Let me do it this way. The late great Planet Earth movie. Okay, so you can watch it. Pretty good movie. Damn good movie. It goes into prophecy. And this is the first time I heard, this was in the 70s now. I was young. Me and a friend of mine, we were both always into the scriptures. We always feared the Most High. So when the movie came out, we went together to see it. And we were in our teens. And we were all into the movie, So it says Hal Lindsey, the late great Planet Earth in 79. So I was a teenager. So it says here 1 hour and 31 minutes. So this is the whole movie. And it was narrated by Hal Lindsey. And he focuses on prophecy. And also, what was this individual's name? Can't think of his name. He had that dramatic sounding voice. Matter of fact, let me do this. I can't think of his name. Orson Welles. Orson Welles. So it opens. Let me do this. Damn commercial. Another damn commercial. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, so here's a movie. It opens up with now if you notice now you see these people, these are supposed to be Israelites. You notice they don't have blonde hair. They don't look Scandinavian looking. You could see, hey, like when I come out the shower and it dries, my hair, when it's long like that, my hair looks just like that. And you can see the guy in the back. You can see the beard. So you could see that they're hinting that they know this, the so-called scholars, Esau scholars, they know that 2,000 years ago in the Middle East and prior to that, they were they were swarthy looking people, you know. So look at that. The dude got a fro. They got the beards, but they're Edomites, but they got the beards. they got them big ass boulders, man. And then this is Orson Welles, which he was an actor back in the day and the director, but he has that voice. You know, he has that dramatic voice like a Alexander Scorby. Look him up. You see, it made him look like an Ephraimite, one of the so-called Latin tribes. He might be a Jake. He died years ago. Let me see here. Yeah, this guy might be a Jake. Orson Welles being the kingdom. All of a sudden you hear his voice. Oh shit, that's Orson Welles. I didn't know you was an Israelite. Yes, I'm from the tribe of Gad. You didn't know that. But then this is when they go off because they show. Let me get a better picture. Let's do something. Oops. And that's supposed to be John on the Isle of Patmos. They're a cracker. All this mess over cracker, but he got the full beard. Hey, like the prophets were considered like weirdos, man, to the regular people. You had Isaiah walk buck naked. What was it for three? That's in Isaiah 21. He was bucket naked. You know. But this movie right here, let me do this. Bring it all the way down. And this is Hal Lindsey. He was on one of them PTL type shows and religious shows. And he used to he didn't bite his tongue. And they fired him, man. They said, man, he ain't gonna be on the show no more. Because he was like hurting feelings. This individual right here, Hal Lindsey. And the first time I heard Zechariah 14 and 12 was by him. And if I can find it, let me see. He goes in, man. I might want to see this movie again because he goes in. He goes to Zechariah 14 and 12, and he said that's definitely talking about IEC. It's right here. It's got to be right here. Let me see something. Let me see something. Okay, so this is let me do it this way. I don't want, how YouTube do. Not only in the Bible the Bible what will happen here, but when the right, so he's quoting it right here. This is 38 minutes in. Hey, watch the whole movie. But he says right here, this is the first time I heard that. And when I heard it, I said, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. So he's getting ready to quote Zechariah 14 and 12. Yeah, that's that famous scene with Sarah Connor. she's wearing like a nurse's outfit, and she holds onto the fence, and she's yelling at these kids in the playground. And all of a sudden, that hot wind comes along, and then she's holding onto the fence, and all her skin, her bones is left holding the fence. So like I said, man, this is the first time I heard it. The first time I heard that, Zechariah 14 and 12, and it was broken down that way, was by this individual right here, Hal Lindsey. Hal Lindsey. And as soon as I hear it, I said, yep, that's what it's talking about. Give me a sec. Yeah, so watch the movie, you'll get into it before they can fall to the ground. There's nothing like that except nuclear war. This is a mushroom cloud. That's what Isaiah saw. That's what Isaiah saw. The heavens rolled together like a scroll. That's what John saw. The Apostle John on the Isle of Patmos, Revelation chapter 6. So when people say, oh, you guys are making it up, no. There's Edomite scholars that have said this when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. And this was in the regular theaters. This wasn't in no church. This was in regular theaters, man. All over the country. That's what Isaiah saw, and that's what John on the Isle of Patmos saw. So they wrote it down. And yet, ooh, destructive power, and yet no one understood them in ancient times. So what does that mean? The prophets didn't understand what they were writing down. They saw it, they saw the visions, they had the dreams, they had the epiphanies, they experienced the epiphanies, and they wrote it down. And they didn't understand it. None of the prophets understood what they saw. These were events that's getting ready to happen in our lifetime. Technologically, we see how they could happen. I think beautiful. I think one of the most amazing things is the book of Revelation here, or here. He's talking about John, the Apostle John, and he was transported in a time machine. He saw 2,000 some odd years in the future, and he saw them getting MOTB. That's what he saw. We keep telling you that. We keep telling y'all better go back. Y'all better fast and pray, cause we right. You might be right. I don't know. Let's see. No, it's what we say about the MOTB is going to come to pass the way we've been saying it for years. And if you're teaching something contrary to that, you're in danger of the judgment. You're going to wind up in the lake of fire. And you don't want to wind up in the lake of fire because you may not get out. That's this guy speaking, Orson Welles. And he has that voice. You got to watch the movie. Got to watch the movie, right? This right here at 39. So about 30 minutes, 35 minutes in. But this is when you hear Orson Welles. You know, he's reading it with that dramatic, that dramatics in his voice. Yeah, and great hailstones, heavy as 100 pounds. That's what John's the weight of a talent. That's why he said 100 pounds in translations, but it said the weight of a talent. The weight of a talent is about anywhere from 75 to 100 pounds. But these missiles were the ICBMs. I did a video on it. It was, I believe, each one is like 2,000. Is it 2,000 or 20,000? But they're way. I mean, they're like buildings, like full, 10-story, 20-story buildings, man. That's how big these missiles are. So we know we're the only group, the Israelites, well, the one Westers, but GMS, we're more of a prophetic camp. Me myself, especially, I'm always going into the prophecies. I'm always going into the prophecies, man. Always, just like Hafiz Aria, that was a prophecy man. He always went into the he went through them over and over and over and over and over and over again. We went through them over and over again. That's why I don't got to pull out my notes. If I go to Daniel 7, boom, that means this. This means that. On to the next one. Daniel 8, that means this. The he goat, the rough goat, and all that. Revelation 11, all because we're in the time of the fulfillment of these prophecies. The lake of fire is when those missiles um, hit this place from the NATO nations, Russia, possibly China, any nation that possesses intercontinental ballistic missiles will be fired upon America, and the missiles are going to be wasted. In other words, we're not going to have a missile in the kingdom. Well, this is what the missile looked like. The missiles were the Most High put the spirit on these devils to make these missiles. Isaiah 54, and they're meant to all be used, to be utilized. And there's a movie out, I believe it's called Oppenheimer. The movie is about this guy Robert Oppenheimer, which he invented. I believe he invented the H bomb. Now, General Nathaniel was doing a thing on it this Saturday because we were listening to him. We listened to his videos, and he had the actual speech that the guy made, and he had made a statement because he invented. He was a key inventor, but there were more than one inventor. There were, I think, a couple thousand of them. There was thousand. I think there was like a 1,200 that came to the Americas, and I think another 1,200 or 1,000 the Russians got. So that's why the Russians and America has the same technology as far as the missiles are concerned. They have the same technology. They got it from the Russians, which we call Teeman. So they made a movie that's coming out. I may go and see it. I might try to see it on stream. I don't want to go in the theater. One thing I learned about the Crown Vicky is, what the fuck was I doing going to into a theater? Theater is a big black box with demons in it, man. You go and watch it. I'm watching on stream it, man. Pay for that shit at home. I'm sitting with fucking strangers, man. I had to be crazy if you'd be doing that shit. Let's look at it a little bit more. And I'm going to go back into this article, and then I'm going to say Shalom. Look at that. Look at that. That's the silo. That's in Job 20. it speaks about them coming from the body. The body is the silo. Yeah, that represented a missile. Also, the scriptures speak about this place, these missiles, as being great hailstones or great millstones. And thus with violence, the angel took up the great millstone and cast it to the earth, and thus with and said, thus with violence shall this place be destroyed. I'm merely paraphrasing. So these are hailstones, and they also mills. They're like millstones, great millstones. So he said, if you rewind it, if you pull it back, this scientist was saying that in 1969 they had enough missiles to destroy every human on the planet Earth. So, let's fast forward 69, 79, 89, 99, 2009, 2019. We're talking almost 60 years in the future. So the technology, they've been building missiles before the 60s, before 69. And like I said, at all these, the Moors, the Moors don't speak about this because they don't know. The Kemetic, the brothers in Kemite, the Kemetic people, the Christians don't really speak of this, man. You got certain Christian scholars that specialize in prophecy. Like I said, he was on one of them religious type shows. I believe that was PTL, or which is Praise the Lord, or one of them shows. Depending on where you live, could have been on Channel 9 or Channel 12 or whatever, or Channel 11. And he was a regular on one of these shows. And I remember he was on one day, and he went a little too deep into prophecy. He was scaring the people, and they basically said, "Look, you ain't gonna be on the show no more," because they want people to be happy. Give me a second. Anyway, in your leisure time, watch this movie. Check the movie out. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll leave the link in the description box. If I forget, just put in the late great planet Earth, or Hal Lindsey, the late great planet Earth. But I'll remember. I should remember. So anyway, let me go into this article. Where the hell is it? Okay, so I kind of read some of it, and this guy is saying that the beast is a papacy. I'll read some of the headlines. Okay, the USA and Bible prophecy. Two world powers are symbolized in Revelation chapter 13. What is the first power? So this guy is saying, when you read this article, if I remember, I'll leave this in the description box as well. He's saying the first power was the Roman Catholic institution. The second power is America. So it says, I'm gonna read that again. Two world powers are symbolized in Revelation chapter 13. What is the first power? Answer: the beast with seven heads. Revelation 13, 1 to 10 is a Roman papacy, which is not. If you want to put the Roman, the papacy in the book, anywhere in the book, it would be Revelation 16, where it says, "I beheld three unclean spirit like frog come out of the mouth of the dragon, excuse me, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet." So that's where the papacy comes in. It also says in Habakkuk 2 and 18, a false image of idol and a teacher of lies. That's the Roman Catholic Church. All these other Christian churches stem from the Roman Catholic Church. See study guide 15, blah, blah, blah. Remember that beasts and Bible prophecy symbolize nations and world powers. Daniel 7, 17 and 23, you can read those. It says 1798. In what year was the papacy predicted to lose its world influence and power? He was given authority to continue for 42 months. Revelation 13 and 5, he went off on that. It's not talking about the papacy, talking about this current system today. You know, when you read the first couple of verses, the deadly wound, that's talking about the pagan Rome, the ancient Roman Empire, and it's talking about the wound being healed is this system today, led by America. Answer: the Bible predicts that the papacy will lose its world influence and power at the end of 42 months. This prophecy was fulfilled in 1798. You can see that they're going off. When Napoleon's General Barbier took the Pope captive, and the papal power received the deadly wound, you can see that they went off on that. Scriptures taken from the New King James Version, copyright 1982. Okay, this is what kind of caught my eye. 3, which nation was predicted to arise around the time of the papacy was receiving its deadly wound? They claim that the papacy was a thing that received, the head that received a deadly wound. I saw another beast come up out of the earth, and I'm surprised they said this. And he had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. Revelation 13 and 11. Answer: the papacy, the papal captivity mentioned in verse 10 took place in 1798, and the new power, verse 11 of Revelation 13, was seen emerging at that time. The United States declared its independence in 1776, voted the Constitution in 1787, adopted the Bill of Rights in 1791, and was clearly recognized as a world power by 1798, which makes sense. He's making sense right here. The timing obviously fits America. No other power could possibly qualify. Let me read a little bit more, then I'll close it. What is the significance of the beast coming up of the earth? Out of the earth, answer: the nation arises out of the earth instead of out of the water. Is as did the other nations mentioned in Daniel 7, and Revelation. We know from Revelation that water symbolizes areas of the world that have a large population. Right, that's what is that, 13, Revelation 13 and 15. The waters represent people, nations, kings, tongues. The waters which thou sawest, where the whore, America, it's a place, not a spirit, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Revelation 17 and 15. I was right. Therefore, the earth represents the opposite. It means that this new nation, which is America, would arise in an era of the world that had been virtually unpopulated before the 1700s, which is a lie because you had Gad and Reuben up in here. That's who they encountered. And when they came, I said this in previous videos, when Esau started coming to the Americas, they identified the people, the natives of this land, and they said those are the Israelites. That was big. But before the 1700s, we're talking about the 1500s, 15, 16, even into the 17 and 1800s. That was a known fact among Christian so-called scholars that these people that they encountered, that Christopher Columbus encountered, were in fact the Israelites. Because they had, remember, the RCC, Roman Catholic Church, they possessed and read out of the Apocrypha. So you mean to tell me they didn't read 2nd Ezra 13, 40, verse 40? It could not arise among the crowded and struggling nations of the old world. Right, this is called the New World. And that was coined when Columbus came over here to the other side of the world. They call it the New World. It had to come up in a sparsely populated continent. What is the symbol? What is this? The symbolize? What is symbolized by its two lamb-like horns, absence of crowns? Let me see what that says. I'll read this and then I'll close. But you can read the rest of the article. But they're telling the truth. They don't have the whole truth, but they got it right when they say the United States. It says what is symbolized by is two lamb-like horns and absence of crowns. Answer: horns represent kings and kingdoms or governments. Daniel 7:24, Daniel 8:21. In this case, they represent the United States' two governing principles, civil and religious. Well, the Democratic and the Republicans, the plebeians and the patricians in the Roman Empire. These two principles have also been labeled republicanism. Yeah, democracy and republicanism. A government without a king, and Protestantism, a church without a pope. Other nations, since ancient times, had taxed people to support a state religion. Most had also oppressed the religious descendants, but the United States established something entirely new: freedom to worship without government interference. And they interfere, and the 501c3 is an interference of government because they got to find out how much is coming in. And you got to do this with it. You got to say that. You can't see that. You can't say this. Absence of crown signifies a republican form of government rather than a monarchy. Lamb-like horns denote an innocent, young, non-oppressive, peace-loving, right? America is a peace-loving place. Come to America, the American dream, and spiritual nation. Jesus, baby Jesus, is referred to as a lamb 28 times in Revelation. Read a little bit more. Special note: how we wish we could stop right here in Jesus' description of the United States, but we can't because he didn't stop. What comes next might be a jolting. The United States is a great country, which its freedom of conscience, press, speech, and enterprise its opportunities, its sense of fair play. Yeah, we were fair play in the fields. That and this is for so-called white people. You know, white people that own property. Those are the only ones that can vote. The women couldn't vote. Damn sure the slaves couldn't vote. It's simple, but they don't think they're going into captivity. It's sympathy for the underdog and its Christian orientation. It is not perfect, but even still, a host of people from around the world seek to become its citizens every year. Sadly, this richly blessed country will change drastically. Yes, and we're in that change right now as I speak. It's a pretty good article. They got it half right. And so, what does Revelation 13:11 mean when it says the United States will speak like a dragon? I got to read that part. I must be allowed to read. Answer: as you learn in Study Guide 20, the dragon is Satan, led by Satan, spiritual demon Satan, physical counterpart, who works through various earthly powers to establish his own kingdom and to crush God's church by persecuting and destroying God's people, which are the Israelites, and they haven't changed. That's why he's demonizing us right now. Those black Hebrew Israelites, they're extremists. What the hell is an extremist? You got a sport called extreme sports. Are they fucking terrorists? Extreme? Any look in the NBA, the top teams in the NBA, they're all extremists, man. They better eat the right foods. They better get exercise coaches. They better have doctors and nutritionists. That's taking shit to the extreme. You know, when you become a boxer, the top guys, the top champions in boxing, they take that sport to the extreme. Anything less, they wouldn't be champions. So speaking as a dragon means the United States, under the influence of Satan, will in the end time force people to worship contrary to conscience or be punished. And they're pushing that elemental P thing right now. They're pushing that happy people stuff. I mean, you can read. I'm not going to read anymore. Pretty good article, though. Pretty good article. Anyway, that's just some more information. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.